Welcome to my Facebook Live. If you're watching this from a replay, welcome. I'm going to be talking about the four plans you should be considering during this crisis and why you should pivot and change into these four plans. Consider these four plans and how to increase your cash flow. How to increase your cash flow during this crisis. Now, why is it important for you to consider these four plans and change and consider into these four plans? Pivot, change your messaging, change the way you approach business, change the way you approach your cash flow, and how to increase your cash flow. The reason why it's important is because we are in a somewhat of a unique circumstance where it's almost the perfect economical disadvantage for you. It's a perfect economical and health disadvantage for you. The way the economy works is that the way it's through confidence, among many things, meaning that in order for the economy to work, you need somebody that you need for yourself to want to spend money on something, to want to buy something, to spend money and put money into the economy is as it's referred. They call it putting money into the economy. And then in order for you to put money in the economy, there has to have a business that takes money, that provides a product and a service. And they have to make money by people spending money in their business, and that occurs so that they can, and employees need the business to run so that they can make money in order for them to be able to spend money. So in order for somebody to spend money, they have to make money. In order for them to make money, they either have to have employment or a business. And in order for them to have employment or business, there have to be a business that pays them. When the business stops because of a pandemic, when a business stops because of a crisis, the person stops spending money, and therefore the economy is halted. The economy is halted. Now, we're a very unique circumstance because we also have a health crisis. A health crisis meaning because of this pandemic that's going on right now. And so what four plans should you be considering during this crisis so you can thrive, so to speak, so you can thrive right now during this crisis, and how to increase your cash flow? There's four that I want you to consider. Now, I'm going to go over whether this virus is zoonotic or actual bioengineered, but nonetheless, let me go back to this. Nonetheless, the economy is not going to go back to the same way it was. We're going to get out of this health crisis. We have good leadership in the helms right now. But coming out of this, the economy is not going to go back to the way it was, or either this is going to be a long-term thing. Now remember that the virus, the virus is out of the bottle. It's not going to go back in the bottle. There are viruses that we have right now, for example, that don't have cures. They can have vaccines like the flu vaccine, but the flu mutates because of its RNA. It mutates fast, it adapts fast, and so the best they can do is just create more and more vaccines that adapt to the adaptation of the RNA. Well, the thing about this particular virus, that's whether it's zoonotic, meaning from animal to human, or actual bioengineered, and there's too much evidence for it to be zoonotic. It's too much evidence noting that this is bioengineered. Now, whether there's a dark operation or it's just accidentally got out into the public, who's to say? But it's out of the bottle. And the thing about it is that it takes, as a 14-day incubation period, up to 14 days, you don't know whether somebody has it or not, so you can catch it without even knowing it. So is social distancing going to be a thing? Here's what I'm saying. Is social distancing going to be a thing from here on out to the future? Yes, it is. Because the virus out of the bottle, it's a perfect quote-unquote virus where you don't know where somebody has it, so you could easily catch it if you don't imagine that people don't already have it. So if you treat people like they already have it, then it's easier for you not to catch the virus. So what are the four plans that you should be considering during this crisis? The four plans, I'm going to write it down. The first one is cash flow. You have to have a cash flow plan. What is your cash flow plan? Whether you are self-employed, whether you are a gig worker, whether you are employed or not employed, whether you have a business, what is your cash flow plan? And how are you able to, do you have a plan for your cash flow? How are you able to communicate it to your family, to your organization? How are you able to communicate it? At what point do you have to tap into reserves? Do you have reserves for your cash flow? If you're a business, at what point when you communicate to your organization, at what point do you say, I'm going to tap into the reserves and then we have to make some cuts in our business? And we're going to go over how you can thrive as a business right now. And by the way, if it's the first time you're listening into this, my name is Ron, and I am the head instructor at Great Relationships University, an online course. I'm also the author of Relationships 101. And I actually have this board right here because I'm using it to conduct a training lesson for my ambassadors. All right, so cash flow. What are some ways you can increase cash flow? Number one is to mitigate your spending. You have to manage your spending. What are you spending money on right now? What does your bill look like? What does your budget look like? And what things can you get rid of? What things can you get rid of so that you can increase your cash flow? It's not about the money you make, it's about the money you keep. And right now, particularly when not a lot of people are making money, it's about how much money you keep. So take a look at your bills, take a look at your spending and mitigate your spending, mitigate your outwards cash flow, and try to keep your cash flow in. What are some ways you can increase? Number one, live below your means. Okay, live below your means. Number two, the CARES Act. The CARES Act is the stimulus program that the government approved, where they are putting money into the economy so that people can make money. No, the crime doesn't skyrocket. People kill people for food. People kill people for money. The government is incentivizing people to stay home, be healthy, and look forward to it going back to the way it was. And there are some things that they put in place. Number one is, I want you to go to this website if you have, let me see. I want you to go to this website, sba.gov/disaster. If you have a business, if you are a self-employed person, if you have rentals, if you have some kind of income other than W-2 income, if you have some kind of income other than W-2, you're self-employed, you have a business, you have a small business, you are a sole proprietor, a partnership, whatever it is, you can apply for a $10,000 loan, up to a $10,000 loan at sba.gov/disaster. And it's going to run out. There's only a certain amount of money that's approved for this loan. So you go there right now if you have some kind of employment, or not employment, some kind of a personal business, even if it's you're renting out a part of your house, whether it's renting out a real estate that you own, or you're self-employed, you're a contractor, whatever it is. Go to sba.gov/disaster, apply for a $10,000 loan. It's a quote-unquote a forgivable loan, meaning that it's actually a grant. It's called forgivable loan, meaning that it's a loan that you don't have to pay back. It's forgivable. Now, they call it a loan, not a grant. It's actually a grant, but they call it a loan with a stipulation it's forgivable because they will forgive any money you spend on your business. They will forgive any money you spend on your business. If you can show that you spend the money on your business, it's forgivable. You don't have to pay it back. All right, so number two thing, that's really, really important. Number two thing is the self-employment, unemployment, and the state-run unemployment. Now, these two are state-run. They're state-run programs. If you are self-employed, and if you are a gig worker, for example, the COVID crisis has affected your employment, your self-employment, you can actually apply for unemployment from the state. All you have to do is go to, they're working on this because it's state-run program, meaning it's much, much slower than the federal government. And so all you have to do is go to Google and type in your city and then type in unemployment. For example, Las Vegas unemployment, Anchorage unemployment, whatever it is. If you have some kind of, that's an additional to the unemployment. It's addition to the unemployment. I think it's $600 a week. And then the unemployment without stipulation. This is unemployment without stipulation, meaning originally if you apply for unemployment, you have to be looking for a job. With this stipulation, you don't have to be looking for a job. You're just receiving unemployment. And depending on your job is how much they're going to pay you. All right. And the last thing is the PPP. PPP is if you have a small business if you have any kind of a business, if you have a small business where you have employees, the payment protection, the what was it called? The paycheck protection plan is if you have employees. This is just a loan you can get for up to, what was it, like 10 months? 10 months where you could get money, a loan which is forgivable, meaning you don't have to pay it back, but you have to spend it on keeping, I think it's $5,000 a week or something, where you have to pay. All you have to do is go to, for this one, by the way, if you want to apply for that, it's money that it goes to protecting the paychecks of your employees. If you have employees, you can apply for this loan. Now this, for you to be able to apply to this, you have to go to a website, which I don't know right now. I could provide it in the link. I could provide the link in the caption, but you can go to a bank, a participating bank. If you look up on Google PPP, Payment Protection Plan, and then your city, and then it's gonna, or city or state, and it's gonna show you what banks are participating in the PPP. So that's number one. Increase your cash flow, mitigate your spending, find out what you're spending, and mitigate that, because we are in a long-term endeavor. This is a long-term thing. The virus, again, is not going to go back in the bottle, and it's not about the economy that caused this crazy economic standstill that we have. It's because of the virus. And so we don't have an economic problem. We have a health problem that's causing the economic problem. The second thing I want you to consider is your business plan and messaging. Now, this is if you have a business. Now, if you don't consider yourself as a business, then you are already behind the curve. What I mean by that, if you don't consider yourself as a brand, every single one of you watching right now, you have a brand, you have a business. And what is, at the very least, your business is you are in the media business. You are putting out content, you're putting out news, you're sharing your thoughts, you're sharing your videos, you're sharing your public photos, you're sharing it in public. You are in the media business. If you don't imagine yourself to be in the media business, you're already behind the curve. If you're using your social media for personal stuff, it's just a scrapbook, it's just a memory book, you're already behind the curve. You are in the media business. You're putting out information that could be valuable to other people. Therefore, you're in the media business. And so what are you putting out there for your brand? What is a brand? A brand is what people think about and how people feel when they think about you. It's how people feel when they think about you. How do people feel when they think about you? When they see your name, when they see the photo on your profile, what do they feel when they think about you? It's based on the content you put out, the feeling you put out, what you put out into the ether, into the universe. And so how are you going to change the messaging of your business? What is your business and messaging plan? What do you mean by that? You could be thriving right now as a restaurant. For example, if you were just to increase your spending when it comes to advertising, if you increase your spending with advertising and you change your messaging to, do you imagine that the floral industry, the flower delivery industry is going to go out of business? Most people do. But there are some businesses right now that are saying, hey, people want to be touched. People want to feel that they're loved even though they're distant. And so we are here for you as a flower delivery company. And they put out ads like that. Do you imagine that people are going to want to spend money to send flowers to their parents who are quarantined because they don't want to get the crazy virus? What if you're a restaurant? Well, the restaurant, you could say, there are a lot of restaurants that you can make a killing right now as a restaurant. And you can say, there's a restaurant that's only offering just fajitas. And then they're saying, you need fajitas, people want fajitas. And they're not making the same money that's the way before, but they're making a lot of money. So change the messaging of your business. For example, if you have your self-employment, what could you say, for example, if you're an Uber driver or you're a real estate agent? If you're a real estate agent, say, hey, I provide masks or I provide protection while we look at houses. The houses right now are the prices are low, it's readily available, or you could get a Matterport camera where you could invest in a Matterport camera right now if you're a real estate agent, and then just take 3D videos of the house and then just show your clients 3D versions of the house and with the Matterport camera. Matterport, Matterport, Matterport camera, and that's how you can show the houses. Or you could say, I provide new fresh masks if you are looking for houses, and we can drive around and look for houses for you. I'll take you. So you change the messaging for your business. If you are, for example, I have a lot of friends that are in the modeling industry, and how you could change your message is what you want to do right now in your business is you want to continue to be in the eyes of your customers. You don't want to disappear right now. When we get out of this situation, the economic situation, they want to see, hey, this girl was there during the whole thing, and when they're ready to spend money, they're going to think of you. They're not going to think of somebody who just disappeared because they just quit during this crisis. So be there, be in front of them, talk to your customers and clients. You may not make money, but you're going to be there to build relationships with your clients, with your customers, with your potential customers. Okay, and if you're messaging right now, I can't really see because the camera is pointing, the front facing camera is behind me. I'm using the rear facing camera. Okay, so number 3, recession plan. We're almost done here. Recession plan. A recession-proof plan. Sorry. So recession-proof plan. What is your plan going out of this? What is your plan going out of this? Now, I want you to consider that if you are an employee, businesses won't be the same again. We're always going to have social distancing now because the virus is out there. The virus is... I want you to really think about that. The virus does take a 14-day incubation period. We're gonna need to be social distancing for quite a bit. This is how businesses are gonna evolve. What does that mean for you? That means that businesses are not gonna be the same. They're gonna be social distancing in their business. They're gonna be wanting more remote workers. They're gonna be wanting more employees that work from home. How are you valuable to that company? What skills do you have at home? Do you know how to use a computer? Are you good with the phone? Are you good with customer service over the phone? These are home-based skills that you need to develop right now. And we're going to go into number 4 right now. So what is your recession-proof plan? How are you going to save your customers money? How are you going to save your prospects money? How are you communicating with them right now, whether via social media or email? How are you communicating with them right now, putting yourself in front of their eyes so they can see that you are not disappearing during this time of crisis, that you're there for your customers, you're there for them, and you're doing the best you can, everything you can to serve your customer. As a business, your goal is to serve people. The only way that they will exchange money for you is either you provide a service or a product, and the product serves their benefit. What are you doing to be recession-proof, and how are you communicating that? Number 4 is your health and personal development. This is the perfect opportunity. This is the perfect opportunity because of the situation that we have to really manifest the health that you want, to really manifest the personal development that you need because of the virus. Now, the virus, if you look at the NIH, this is just facts. If you look at the NIH website, if you're, for example, an MD or any scholar who's looking into what's in this virus, what is the makeup of this virus, you're going to go to this NIH library, look it up, and then you're going to look up what is the sequencing of this virus. And if you look at the sequencing of the virus, it's very interesting. There's 3 different sequencing of the virus, which are the SARS sequencing, the severe acute respiratory syndrome sequencing. There's the bat-like corona sequencing, and there's the HIV sequencing. Now, how do you know this thing is bioengineered, meaning it's created in a lab? How you know is because if it was just if it was just SARS, then it could come from a bat, could come from any animal. Now, it's a likelihood that it is zoonotic, meaning it's from animal to human. If it was 2, meaning if it was both SARS and bat-like corona virus, bat-like SARS virus, then the likelihood of it being manipulated, then it has a high likelihood. But it could also, an animal could actually have those 2 things. But if it's 3 things and 4 things, the likelihood of it coming from an animal decreases. The likelihood of an animal actually giving you all 3 with the HIV is not likely. So is it likely that it was made in a bioengineered in a lab? The likelihood it is because it came from Wuhan. Wuhan just happens to be at a highest level, level 4 bioengineering facility. The coincidence is it's too likely it's from there, and also that there are many things that go into it. I'm not going to go into it now. Is it black ops or is it accident? Well, there are many different labs that actually are bioengineering viruses, so they can learn more about the virus, so they can develop vaccines for it. This is not an unnatural occurrence, but is it dark ops, meaning they wanted to get it out there, or is it an accident? Well, that's for you to figure out, for you to think about. So food for thought. So health and personal development. Right now you should be spending more time on your health, because the way the virus works is that, can you even see? Okay. The way the virus works is that it attaches itself to actually 3 different receptor sites. The main favorite of it is the ACE2 receptor. The ACE2 receptor, there's a lot of it in your nostrils. The ACE2 receptor goes into your respiratory tract and into your lungs. And the ACE2 receptor is its favorite. And now the people, there is a upregulation of receptor sites. There is an upregulation of receptor sites for people who are immunocompromised. If you're immunocompromised, you have a higher likelihood to not be able to battle the coronavirus, the COVID-19. More likelihood you're not going to be able to battle it, and you might die from it. So if you're much older, if you're 60 years old plus, you have a lower likelihood for you to be able to survive this. This is not bad news. You're going to be able to survive this if you're healthy. So mind your health. People that are obese, people that are immunocompromised, people that get sick easy. If you have asthma, if you have anything with your lungs, this is something that can affect you tremendously, and it's not a good thing. So what does that mean for you? Decrease your ability to be immunocompromised and increase your immune health. I went over a post where I went over what things are going to increase your immune health. Daily exercise, decrease your obesity, increase your health. Take multivitamins, vitamin C, vitamin D, increase your immune health. This is now the perfect time for you to better your health. And this is also a time where you have a lot of time for yourself. Therefore, you should be taking on some personal development, reading your favorite books, and business development. Let me just put BizDev. What are some businesses right now you could be working from home? Remember, the economy is not going to be the same. You should be working on personal development, health development, personal development, and business development. What kind of business? Businesses of the future, meaning things that you can do remotely, meaning your ability to write copy, your ability to write, your ability to market, your ability to do social media, your ability to use a computer, use a phone, your ability to be effective on the phone, your ability to be effective on social media, your ability to know how advertisements and marketing works. These are important skills. Your people skills over the phone, your camera skills. How are you on a camera? If you're messaging me, I can't really see, but I can't really see. Anyways, so we're gonna end it right here. Now, business development. Now, I'm also working on a program where you're able to work from home. So I'm going to be releasing that information. But if you want more information on how you can work from home, or how you could increase your income from home, just message me and I'll give you the information for that. It's something I'm still working on, and it's not out yet, but I believe it's going to be out during April, and I'm very excited for it. And you're going to be able to make a pretty substantial income from home, whether or not you have any business experience or not. If you don't have business experience, this will work for you. If you do have business experience, it'll work for you as well. All right, so message me for that. And remember, consider these 4 things: mitigate your cash flow, increase your cash flow, change your business messaging plan, and create more cash flow, recession-proof plan, and now is the perfect time for health personal development. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. Share this video. I would love for you to share this video. And for the algorithm's sake, please comment below. It helps me out with the algorithm with Facebook and Instagram. All right, I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye.